I'm here today at the KIDPLAN Research Station as part of the Going Ahead with Goats project, and we've also got the measured goats resource herd here in the background. KIDPLAN breeding values are a genetic prediction of how an individual's progeny will perform in comparison to the rest of the KIDPLAN database. These breeding values help goat breeders make informed decisions for traits such as growth traits, mature body size, carcass traits, welfare traits like worm egg count and reproduction. Historically, goat selection has been done on visual selection, but now we can use breeding values to assist us to go hand in hand with that visual selection. So we make sure that the animal is structurally sound, and then we can use breeding values to further inform our selection decisions to help make genetic gain and key profit driving traits. So once we have visually correct animals, we can then use KIDPLAN breeding values to help accelerate the rate of genetic gain in our key profit driving traits in our breeding objective. So KIDPLAN breeding values are calculated by producers or reference herds submitting data on individuals, and that goes into the National Genetic Evaluation Service run by Sheep Genetics and MLA, and it's known as KIDPLAN. So the data that we collect is pedigree, that's sire and dam, so we can do that either through data that is submitted by breeders. We can also use genomics, which is another form of pedigree. We then collect the performance of the animals and all the other things that affect performance, such as dam age, the birth type and rear type, or the management group it was in. So once we have all that data is put into what we call a linear mixed model, and from that we get the genetic estimate of each individual animal. So this process is not unique to goats. It's used by industries all around the world in every species, whether it's livestock, fish, trees or bees. Current modelling will suggest that we can make $2 per doe joined in genetic progress when using breeding values as part of our selection toolkit. So remembering that genetic gain is permanent and cumulative, just like compound interest. So it's $2 this year, it'll be $4 next year, and in 10 years, it'll be $20 compared to a doe bred today. On sale day, when we look at buying bucks, we visually appraise them and we like the ones that we like. But after that, we don't really know what the genetic background or the genetic merit of that animal is. So it could be good, it could be bad. We don't really know. It's what we call raffle ticket breeding. And we won't really know until the progeny are born. And then we start measuring them and benchmarking them against others. So that could be a really expensive mistake and a long-term one, because we know genetics flow on through generations. However, through the use of breeding values, we can make more informed selection decisions and make every purchase a good purchase. So using breeding values will help take the guesswork out of ensuring that we're improving our key traits in our breeding objective. So key breeding values that producers might want to use if they're selecting a buck, say in a terminal breeding program, they'll be looking at growth and carcass, so eye muscle depth and a post-weaning weight. For a more self-replacing herd, we'd be looking at reproduction breeding values. Studs can start using breeding values as easy as buying a new sire that has breeding values themselves, and those traits for that buck are high for the traits important in their breeding objective. They can also join KIDPLAN, where they start submitting the performance of animals, who the sire is, who the dam is, when the animal was born, how many animals were in the litter. For a commercial producer wanting to implement breeding values, making more accurate selection decisions for their buck team at home, they can find breeding values on the Sheep Genetics website, which deliver the KIDPLAN breeding values, or they can look in the sale catalogue when the buck sale is on. So through the use of KIDPLAN breeding values, we're able to make more informed selection decisions. So the really exciting opportunity for goat producers and breeders is to modernise how they breed their animals and turbocharge the rate at which they can increase their profitability through genetics. So the key takeaway for producers who are breeding goats is that breeding values is simply another tool in the toolkit in our selection process. We still need to make sure animals are structurally correct, but then we can use breeding values to help us assist make more profitable selection decisions.